What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I want to do something a little different. I'm actually going to be, I wouldn't say fully refurbishing, but I'm going to be doing some refurbishing work on this axe that belonged to my great-grandfather. I got this from my dad not too long ago. We went over to my dad's house for dinner, and outside on his little porch he had just a tote full of a bunch of tools, and he had like files in there, punches, old drill bits, just old tools, and this was sitting in there, and it's awesome. I mean, this is super old leather, really cool, handle design on the wood there, and just a really cool little axe, hatchet, whatever you want to call it, in general. And the fact that it belonged to my great-grandfather is really cool. I also got this thing. I actually have no idea what this thing is, so if you guys know what this is for, please let me know in the comments. But I do want to do some refurbished work on this too. This thing needs a lot of work. There is a ton of rust. It's still kind of sharp, but as you see, the handle was wrapped in like electrical tape. But it's really cool, really rustic. It's really badass. So I don't know if this was for like cutting weeds or doing stuff like I honestly have no idea. So if you guys can let me know, that would be awesome. But this is going to be a separate video if I ever get around to it. And I'm filming this outside, so I apologize for any wind noise. But I'm going to show you guys kind of an up close of this thing and just show you some really cool, stuff that's going on with this axe here. So the first thing I noticed when I opened this thing that caught me by surprise was you can actually see my grandpa's name still etched into the leather. So my great-grandpa's name was Orrin Barry. So you can still see that there. Really cool. I was not expecting that, because I believe my dad when he said it was his great-grandfather's, but, I didn't really have any, like, solid proof, and then I looked at that flap, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. But I just decided to leave the handle because I really like the handle. I'm pretty sure this is the original handle that he used. If it wasn't my great-grandpa's original handle, it was my grandpa's handle, because my dad said he's never done anything to this, so just really cool. There's a lot of history in this axe, and I'm excited to keep using it. I'm just going to be using it for small stuff like, splitting kindling and just doing small stuff. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with it, so if it has a tiny little wiggle, that's fine. If it ever does get really loose, I will replace the handle and just keep this as a memory, whatever. Not really memory, but as an artifact, you might say. And then the second thing I did do it was I did clean up the handle a little bit. I took some, just standard cleaner that I got from the hardware store, and I just cleaned it, and then I took some Old English and I rubbed it on it just to kind of revitalize it a little bit, because you can tell it was getting a little bit dry. I'm not going to be doing any sanding to it. It does have some patina. I mean, the whole handle is very soft. It's not like splintering, or it's not rough or anything. So yeah, this thing feels really good. It's not wobbling. It only wobbles when I actually try. So if it does get really bad, I might just hammer another nail in there, but I do want to keep this handle. So anyway, let's get to it. Alright, so the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to start sanding the axe head. I just pounded this into the ground just a little bit just now, just to get this to sit a little bit more flush, and it's actually not moving now. It's honestly rock solid, so I think that's all it needed. And if I really ever have to, I'll just put another nail in here, and this handle should be good to go for a little bit longer. But like I said, I'm not going to be doing anything rough to it, honestly. It's just going to be for kindling and stuff like that, small tasks. So I went out and bought some sandpaper. This is wet dry sandpaper, so that is pretty cool. I'm just going to tear off a little piece, and I do have some water here. If I need to get this thing wet, I'm probably just going to dip it in there and get it wet, so the sanding is a little bit smoother on the axe head. So I'm just going to kind of start sanding here, and we'll kind of see what happens. Alright, so that was maybe 2 minutes of, less than that, probably like a minute of sanding, and it already got a really good chunk of that off of there. And it's kind of starting to reveal the logo right there. Sorry for my dog whining. She's she's in her little play area and she wants to be out here, but yeah. Anyway, that did really good. So I mean, compared to that side, getting a nice shine to it. Alright, so I did another little dipsy in the water for the sandpaper. Now we're going to tackle this side here. Probably a minute and a half of sanding, maybe 2 minutes, and it got a really good amount of that off of there. So you can kind of see the brand now. Looks like the brand is Plumr, P-L-U-M-R. It's a pretty cool logo. I think that's pretty badass. So if I get a really good close-up on there, see it says "Be Prepared" on there. That's a pretty cool little mark. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep sanding this thing down, and hopefully I can get it to a nice, shiny axe handle. So we're gonna keep going here. Alright, so this is after about 10 minutes of sanding with the, I think it was 440 grit sandpaper. So I'm going to move on to a more, fine, I think, so it looks like the fine one I have is 1500 grit. So this should get a really, really nice polished look on this thing, and it's going to look really nice. So I'm going to keep going on that. So we'll get this thing all polished up, and I'll be back when it's done. Alright, so this has probably been about 30 minutes of sanding here. I'm probably just going to stop here, but there's just some aspects of the, of the axe that I want to keep. I don't want to get rid of my, of my great-grandpa's engraving on the actual blade itself, because you can actually see a little bit better now. I think it says OPB. I believe his middle name is Orrin Prentice Berry. So, that's really cool. So I kind of got that out just by sanding. You can see the, the logo here, the Plumr brand there. So it's really, really smooth now. But I just don't think I'm going to be able to get much more out of it unless I put it on unless I had power tools, which I don't. So this hand sanding is, doing just fine. I mean, I do like it does still look rustic, and it does still look well used and well loved, but it's still nice and shiny, and it does have a nice feel to it. So this is probably where I'm going to stop on this part. I'm not going to do much to the handle, like I said before. Now I'm going to work on sharpening it. If you guys look really close here, so here is the the edge of the blade, or the edge of the axe. It is a little rough right now. You see there's a lot of little nicks, and that it was way worse the other night when I went through it. Before I went through it with my with my Speedy Sharp. But we're going to try to get this as at a really nice angle, really nice and sharp. So let's start sharpening. So the first thing I got here is my little Leatherman Squirt PS4. It does have a diamond file on it, so I'm just going to use that real quick and just kind of go along the edge of the blade and kind of get just that main edge that I'm looking for. Alright, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out, this is a this is like the little Smith's little pocket sharpener, and it comes with this little wet stone, so we're going to get that a little bit wet with the leftover water I have here, and put it on my knee here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start at about a 20 to 25 degree angle. Going to be probably about that right there, and we're just going to start sharpening. Alright, now we're going to go back and we're going to do that again. Alright, starting to get a nice edge on there now. Does still have a lot of work to go. It's still really, really chipped on the edge there. But I'm just going to keep going and going and going and see if we can get a nice edge out of this thing. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'll be wetting the stone, going back and forth, and just sharpening this thing till it's got a nice edge on it. So another method of doing that is you could just put it like on a flat surface. So I just have it like, on like my knee right here, and then I'm grabbing it with like my thumb and my fingers, and then I'm just kind of going at about a 20-degree angle, and then I'm just pulling it straight down. And it's getting a lot easier to go through here now, and it's getting a really, really sharp edge on it now. So this is getting almost scary sharp. But I'm just going to keep going. I should probably actually wet it again. Get it nice and wet there. Kind of rub that water everywhere. And put it back up here like this. Grab it with my thumb and my finger. And just keep going. Alright, so after a good probably 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes of sharpening, it's getting a really nice edge on there. There's still some nicks and stuff in the actual blade edge. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get those out, unfortunately. Like I said, I don't have like a bench grinder or anything where I could grind this down. But I do have another, way I'm going to sharpen it real quick just to get a little bit better of an edge on there. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before. This is called a Sharp and Easy sharpener. They're little pocket sharpeners you can get. You can get them at like Walmart, hardware stores. You can get them at Lowe's and Home Depot. A lot of places have these now. And what's nice is they have a coarse side and they have a fine side. So on one side for the coarse they have diamond rods, 2 diamond rods, and on the fine side they have 2 ceramic rods. So it's basically as easy as taking your, blade, grabbing it, putting it on it, and just running it along the blade. Go back. I'm gonna go towards me, because it's better to keep one consistent motion. And you can see it's already easier to pull this thing through. At first it was kind of rough. Now it goes through way easier. So I don't exactly know how many that was, probably somewhere around 30. Now we're going to switch sides and we're going to go on the ceramic side. Alright, and now the last and final step is I have a leather strop kit here. This is from NAFS. This is just a piece of leather with some strop compound. So we're just going to open that, and we're going to just kind of rub that stropping compound all over the piece of leather. Get it nice and coated. So I'm just going to kind of lay it on my knee just like this, hold it with my thumb. And instead of going it, towards, away from ourselves, we're going to come back with it. And that is what is going to give the leather, or that blade, that really nice edge. And it's just going to get rid of that burr that we created from our sharpening. It's kind of hard to do it on my knee. This would be way easier if I were, if I had a table, but we're just roughing it today. We're out in the, we're not out in anything. I'm just outside on my porch, but you guys know what I mean. I'm just showing you how easy it is to do if you just have a few simple tools. And if you're camping or something, you needed to retouch up your axe or something, or if you don't own any power tools and this is something that you want to do with maybe an old axe or something, it is very, very easy, and it's very rewarding because, you get a really nice axe with a lot of history on it. So it's got a decent edge now. It's honestly really good edge. Nice and sharp. So I'm going to go get a piece of paper, and if this thing can cut paper, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for today. So let me go grab a piece of paper. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Look at that. That is a decent cut. Oh, that was bad. That was bad too. I got one good cut. It's really hard to do while behind a camera too. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That'll do. I am super happy right now. It's a really nice edge, looks really clean. It's got some patina on it, looks really good. So, yep, let's cut some wood. That was a really bad example because I have a huge knot down here, but I mean, it did it. Not very good at this, as you can tell. But it's doing it. There we go. It works. Alright, well that's going to do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. If there's anything that you saw in this video that I was doing wrong or any improvements that you think I could make, please let me know down in the comments. This is just me learning as I go, so you know, keep it nice down there. Don't be too hard on me, but I think it turned out great for the items that I had on me, and I think it's going to last me for a lot longer and going to be a good axe, so I'm really happy about this one. Now, in the beginning of the video, I know I did say that I was going to refurbish this. I'm going to look a little more into, you know, this, you know, and getting this, you know, touched up and everything, because I really don't want to get rid of his name, and I'm afraid that if I do go ahead and get this thing cleaned up, it's going to get rid of that. So I'm going to look more into it. I'm going to ask around and see, and if you guys have any suggestions on how to do this, or if I should just leave it, let me know down in the comments. That would be great as well. But I'm going to look around, do some more research before I get that project done. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay humble. Peace.